Breaking news just in, Sean "Diddy" Combs reportedly suffered a heart attack in court, moments after shocking footage of an alleged sacrifice ritual linked to him was leaked online. The unexpected health scare has sent shockwaves through the courtroom and across social media, igniting a firestorm of speculation about the authenticity of the footage and what it could mean for the hip-hop mogul's legacy. The leaked video has fans and critics alike demanding answers as the controversy around Diddy's private life intensifies. Authorities are now scrambling to verify the tape's origins, while Diddy's legal team calls for privacy and medical confidentiality amid this rapidly unfolding crisis. Stay tuned as we unpack the latest updates on this explosive story. Setting the scene, 2009. Justin Bieber's meteoric rise and Diddy's reign. To fully grasp the gravity of what the bodyguard revealed, one must first understand the contrasting worlds of the two central figures in this story. In 2009, Justin Bieber was a fresh-faced 15-year-old from Stratford, Ontario, Canada, suddenly thrust into the dizzying heights of global fame. His YouTube videos had caught the eye of Usher and Scooter Braun, and he was rapidly becoming a household name. Teen girls screamed his name everywhere, from malls to radio stations, and his debut album was about to drop, signaling the arrival of a new pop phenomenon. Meanwhile, Sean "Diddy" Combs was already a titan of the music industry. With decades of experience as a rapper, producer, entrepreneur, and cultural icon, Diddy wielded enormous influence. His empire included record labels, fashion lines, and countless celebrity connections. The gap in age, experience, and power between the two was vast. Diddy was in his early 40s, a seasoned mogul accustomed to navigating the complex intersections of power, money, and fame. Bieber was a kid at the very start of his journey, surrounded by adults who had seen it all before. This power imbalance is crucial to understanding the dynamic between the two, and it's what has fueled so much speculation about the nature of Bieber's visits to Diddy's mansion. The bodyguard's testimony. Dispelling the myths. According to the testimony of Diddy's former bodyguard, many of the lurid rumors about Bieber's interactions with the mogul are overblown or outright false. The bodyguard described Bieber's visits as professional, brief, and far from the 48-hour freak-out parties that some online sources have suggested. He explained that Diddy would often call him up with a simple request: "I'm in town, bring Justin by." These weren't weekend-long ragers or shadowy, secretive events. Instead, they were short visits lasting only 1 or 2 hours, designed more as industry networking opportunities than anything else. The bodyguard emphasized the presence of other key figures during these visits. Bieber was never alone. He was accompanied by his manager, Scooter Braun, and the bodyguard himself was always there as well. Far from being hidden away in dark rooms, Bieber and his team were mostly filming promotional videos or engaging in straightforward marketing efforts to boost Bieber's early career. One memorable moment during these visits, the bodyguard recalled, was when Diddy showed Bieber his Lamborghini, a flashy high-end car that any teenager would find impressive. There's even video evidence of Bieber mentioning this experience, highlighting how the visit was more about networking and promotion than anything nefarious. The marketing machine behind Bieber's rise, Scooter Braun, and industry strategy. To fully grasp the context of Justin Bieber's visits to Diddy's mansion, it's crucial to understand the strategic role played by Scooter Braun, Bieber's longtime manager and marketing mastermind. Braun, a figure both revered and criticized in the music industry, is widely credited with engineering Bieber's meteoric ascent from a YouTube sensation to a global pop icon. What set Braun apart was his ability to meticulously craft a network of influential connections, positioning Bieber alongside established stars such as Usher, Nick Cannon, and Justin Timberlake. These collaborations weren't mere coincidences. They were deliberate moves designed to elevate Bieber's profile and legitimize his place in the competitive music landscape. From this perspective, Bieber's visits to Diddy's mansion were less about shadowy or sinister dealings and more about tactical career building. Diddy's vast influence and deep-rooted industry connections made him a valuable ally in this calculated campaign. The encounters were brief, highly supervised, and aligned with a marketing strategy that focused on associating Bieber with high-profile figures to boost his credibility and expand his audience. According to Bieber's former bodyguard's testimony, these visits were short, promotional in nature, and included the presence of Bieber's manager, Scooter Braun, and other trusted personnel, which adds weight to the idea that these were industry networking events rather than anything nefarious. Fan reactions and online debates, relief, skepticism, and suspicion. The bodyguard's testimony has ignited a firestorm of discussion on social media platforms, especially Reddit, where fans and observers dissect every detail. Many have expressed relief upon hearing the timeline and context, noting that the presence of multiple witnesses and Bieber's documented schedule in 2009 make it impossible for him to have been isolated at Diddy's mansion for days on end. A notable Reddit user, Fakagurki, highlighted Bieber's packed schedule, which included radio appearances and public events during the alleged time, supporting the bodyguard's claim that these visits were brief and professional. However, this reassurance hasn't silenced all critics. A faction of fans and internet commentators remains deeply skeptical. Some question the bodyguard's motives, speculating that he could be protecting Diddy or attempting to sanitize the narrative for personal or professional gain. Others have raised eyebrows over rumors, though unverified, that footage from these encounters was sold for millions, fueling speculation that financial incentives might be influencing testimonies and the broader handling of the case. The ominous language of Diddy's warning to Bieber, despite the bodyguard's insistence that nothing inappropriate transpired during Bieber's visits, certain public moments continue to cast shadows of doubt. One particularly unsettling piece of footage features Diddy warning Bieber not to discuss their interactions openly. He ominously tells the young star, "You know better than to be talking about the things you do with Big Brother Puff on national TV. Everything ain't for everybody." This cryptic admonition raises questions about the nature of their relationship and what exactly needed to remain secret. If their interactions were as innocent and professional as the testimony claims, why the need for such a pointed warning? This ambiguous language fuels speculation and mistrust, suggesting that even if some events were above board, there may be parts of their association shrouded in secrecy and discomfort. The warning stands as a stark reminder that in the entertainment industry, power dynamics often create environments where silence is coerced and conversations are carefully controlled. Revisiting Bieber's early career and rebel phase through a new lens, the recent allegations surrounding Diddy and the testimony about Bieber's visits to his mansion have prompted fans and commentators to reassess Bieber's tumultuous rebel phase from 2012 to 2015. During this period, Bieber's public image suffered significant damage due to a series of well-documented missteps. His 2014 DUI arrest in Miami, the infamous house-egging incident causing roughly $80,000 in property damage, confrontations with paparazzi, and erratic public behavior. At the time, these episodes were widely chalked up to typical teenage rebellion and the pressures of sudden stardom. However, with the emerging context of the industry's murky power dynamics, some are beginning to question whether Bieber's rebellious behavior was symptomatic of deeper struggles linked to his early exposure to adult environments and influential figures like Diddy. The age gap, The intense pressure of fame and the industry's often exploitative nature create a backdrop that may have contributed to his mental and emotional turmoil. Justin Bieber's personal life and mental health journey. Justin Bieber's life has been a complex mix of fame, struggle, growth, and resilience. Beyond the headlines and controversies, his personal journey reflects the deep human challenges faced by many young stars thrust into the unforgiving spotlight at an early age. In 2018, Bieber married model Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber, a relationship that has brought him stability and a renewed sense of purpose. Their family grew with the birth of their son, Jack Blues, in August 2024, marking a new chapter filled with hope and responsibility. This family life stands in stark contrast to the turbulent years of Bieber's youth, characterized by public scrutiny, erratic behavior, and emotional turmoil. Yet, the renewed media scrutiny in 2025 surrounding Bieber's past connections to Diddy has reportedly taken a toll on his mental health. Observers have noted a gaunt and disheveled appearance, sparking concern for his well-being. This is particularly significant given Bieber's openness about his mental health struggles in the past. His 2020 documentary series, Seasons, offered a raw, unfiltered look at his battles with anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Bieber spoke candidly about moments when the overwhelming pain and loneliness threatened to consume him, illustrating the darker side of fame that often goes unseen behind glamorous headlines. Family dynamics and their impact on Bieber's life. Justin Bieber's family background adds further layers to his personal narrative. His relationship with his father, Jeremy Bieber, has been complicated and marked by long periods of absence and reconciliation. Jeremy left when Justin was only 4 years old, creating a significant void during his formative years. However, in recent years, the two have reconnected and forged a bond symbolized by matching Yeshua tattoos, a gesture of faith and healing. Jeremy's involvement in Justin's life, particularly during difficult times like the 2014 DUI arrest, reflects a nuanced paternal relationship. Despite their rocky history, Jeremy's presence during key moments of crisis indicates an enduring, if imperfect, connection. This complexity mirrors many families' experiences with separation and reunion, highlighting how family dynamics can profoundly influence an individual's emotional development. The cultural reckoning and industry power dynamics. The allegations and revelations surrounding Diddy's case are part of a much larger cultural reckoning within the entertainment industry and beyond. Movements such as Me Too and #Me have dramatically shifted public awareness regarding abuses of power, exploitation, and toxic environments that have long been tolerated behind closed doors. This wave of accountability has empowered survivors and witnesses to come forward, exposing systemic issues that allowed predators to operate with impunity for decades. In this context, Justin Bieber's experiences take on added significance. They are not isolated incidents, but reflect entrenched industry patterns of power imbalance and secrecy. The entertainment world has often celebrated and protected powerful figures at the expense of vulnerable young artists. The growing scrutiny on these dynamics is forcing both the public and insiders to confront uncomfortable truths about how the industry operates. Navigating a complicated legacy. As the legal proceedings and public discourse surrounding Justin Bieber's early interactions with Diddy continue to unfold, the narrative remains complex and multifaceted. The testimony of the bodyguard provides one perspective, portraying the visits as professional and part of a strategic effort to build Bieber's career. However, this perspective does not erase lingering questions about power, secrecy, and vulnerability that have cast a long shadow over Bieber's formative years. For Bieber himself, now a husband, father, and outspoken advocate for mental health awareness, this chapter represents both a painful and pivotal part of his life's journey. The support of his family, especially Hailey Bieber, has been a vital source of strength amid the renewed public scrutiny and personal challenges. Their bond symbolizes a stabilizing force amid ongoing turmoil. Ultimately, Bieber's story highlights the immense pressures young stars face when navigating fame in an industry rife with powerful figures and complicated relationships. It underscores the necessity of greater accountability, transparency, and protection to ensure that future generations of artists can thrive without sacrificing their well-being.